Hey everyone, welcome back to the Finance Kita channel. I'm super excited to have you here today because we're diving into a topic that's crucial for anyone in the finance field, especially if you're preparing for a chartered accountant CA interview or looking to land a role in finance. Today we're going to tackle some common interview questions specifically focused on balance sheet reconciliation. Now, I've created videos on various topics before and I encourage you to check those out too. If you're interested in technical interviews, you'll find a treasure trove of insights on our channel. Don't forget you can increase the speed of the video and watch it at least 2 or 3 times before your interview. Trust me, it'll help you feel more confident. And hey, if you find this content helpful, please share it with your friends or colleagues who might need it too. So, let's jump right into it. The first question that often comes up in interviews is, what steps are involved in your reconciliation process? Well, the reconciliation process typically starts with gathering all necessary financial data. This includes bank statements, ledger entries, and any other relevant documents. After that, I compare the transactions recorded in the company's books with those in the bank statements. It's a meticulous process where I check for any discrepancies and ensure that every entry matches. Once I identify any differences, I document them and investigate further to understand the root cause. Finally, I make the necessary adjustments and ensure everything is accurately reflected in the financial statements. Now, moving on to the next question. How do you prioritize accounts for reconciliation? Prioritizing accounts for reconciliation often depends on the size and complexity of the accounts. I usually start with the high-value accounts or those that are more prone to discrepancies. For example, accounts with large transactions or those that have had recent changes in their balances get my immediate attention. I also consider the frequency of transactions. Accounts that are reconciled less frequently might need more scrutiny. This way, I can ensure that I'm focusing my efforts where they matter most. Next up, we have how do you handle discrepancies or variances identified during reconciliation? When I encounter discrepancies, the first step is to investigate the cause. I thoroughly review all related documents and transactions to pinpoint where the mismatch occurred. Sometimes it's just a simple data entry error, while other times it could indicate a more significant issue. Once I identify the cause, I communicate with the relevant departments or team members to resolve the discrepancy. It's all about collaboration and ensuring that everyone is on the same page to correct any issues. Now, let's talk tools. What tools or software do you use for balance sheet reconciliation? In my experience, using the right tools can make a world of difference. I often rely on accounting software like QuickBooks or SAP for reconciliation tasks. These tools help automate many processes, making it easier to compare data and identify discrepancies. Additionally, Excel is a go-to for many finance professionals. With its powerful functions and formulas, it allows me to perform detailed analysis and reconciliation efficiently. Moving on to the next question. How do you ensure the accuracy of your reconciliations? Ensuring accuracy in reconciliations is all about attention to detail. I double-check all entries and calculations, and I also make it a habit to have another team member review my work. Having a fresh set of eyes can catch errors that I might have overlooked. Furthermore, I maintain a consistent process and use checklists to ensure that I don't miss any steps in the reconciliation process. Now let's address a very important aspect. What controls are in place to prevent errors or fraud in reconciliations? To prevent errors and fraud, it's essential to have strong internal controls. This includes segregation of duties, where different individuals are responsible for different parts of the reconciliation process. Additionally, regular audits and reviews of the reconciliation process help catch any issues early on. Implementing approval processes for adjustments also adds an extra layer of security, ensuring that no unauthorized changes are made. Next, how do you ensure compliance with internal policies and external regulations? Compliance is crucial in finance. I make sure to stay updated on both internal policies and external regulations by regularly reviewing company guidelines and attending training sessions. Additionally, I keep an eye on changes in regulations that could affect our reconciliation processes. This proactive approach helps ensure that all reconciliations are conducted in accordance with the applicable standards. Now let's talk documentation. What documentation is required for each reconciliation? Documentation is key in the reconciliation process. For each reconciliation, I typically require bank statements, transaction records, journal entries, and any supporting documents that provide evidence for the entries. This documentation serves as a reference point and is crucial for audits or reviews. How do you maintain and organize reconciliation records? Maintaining and organizing reconciliation records is vital for efficiency. I usually create a systematic filing system, either digitally or physically, where I categorize records by account and date. This makes it easy to retrieve information when needed. Additionally, I make use of document management software to keep everything organized and easily accessible. Now let's dive into performance metrics. What key performance indicators, KPIs, do you use to measure reconciliation efficiency? KPIs are essential for assessing the efficiency of the reconciliation process. Some common KPIs we track include the time taken to complete reconciliations, the number of discrepancies identified, and the percentage of reconciliations completed on time. These metrics help me identify areas for improvement and streamline the process. Next, how do you investigate and resolve discrepancies in account balances? When investigating discrepancies, I start by reviewing the transaction history for the accounts in question. I look for any unusual transactions or entries that could explain the difference. If needed, I reach out to other departments for clarification. Once I have all the information, I make the necessary adjustments to resolve the discrepancies and ensure that the account balances are accurate. What is your approach to handling missing or incomplete documentation? Missing or incomplete documentation can be challenging, but my approach is to first identify what's missing. I communicate with the relevant departments to request the necessary documents. If it's not possible to obtain the missing information, I document the situation and make a note of it in the reconciliation records. This way, there's a clear understanding of the issue, and I can address it in future reconciliations. Now let's discuss escalation. How do you escalate unresolved issues or significant discrepancies? If I encounter unresolved issues or significant discrepancies, I follow the escalation process outlined by my organization. Typically, this involves documenting the issue thoroughly and bringing it to the attention of my supervisor or manager. Clear communication is key here, as I need to ensure that the relevant stakeholders are aware of the situation and can provide the necessary support to resolve it. How do you communicate reconciliation issues or findings with other teams or departments? Effective communication is crucial when it comes to reconciliation issues. I usually prepare a summary of the findings, highlighting any discrepancies and their potential impact. I then schedule a meeting or send an email to the relevant teams, ensuring that I present the information clearly and concisely. Collaboration is key, so I always encourage open dialogue to address any concerns. Next, how do you collaborate with stakeholders to address reconciliation discrepancies? Collaboration with stakeholders is essential for resolving discrepancies. I make it a point to involve all relevant parties in discussions about discrepancies. This could include finance team members, operations staff, or even external partners. By working together, we can identify the root cause of the issue and develop a plan to resolve it effectively. Now let's talk about improvement. How do you identify opportunities for improving the reconciliation process? Identifying opportunities for improvement often comes from analyzing the reconciliation process itself. I regularly review the steps involved and look for any bottlenecks or areas where errors frequently occur. Additionally, I seek feedback from team members to understand their pain points. This collaborative approach helps us pinpoint areas for improvement and implement changes that enhance efficiency. What steps do you take to ensure continuous improvement in reconciliation practices? Continuous improvement is a mindset I embrace. I make it a habit to stay updated on best practices in reconciliation and finance as a whole. Attending workshops, webinars, and training sessions helps me learn new techniques and tools. I also encourage my team to share their insights and experiences, fostering a culture of learning and improvement. How do you stay updated on best practices and changes in reconciliation standards? Staying updated is crucial in the finance world, where regulations and standards can change frequently. I subscribe to industry newsletters, follow relevant blogs, and participate in professional organizations. Networking with other finance professionals also provides valuable insights into best practices and emerging trends. Next, how do you ensure that reconciliation processes are integrated with other financial systems? Integration is key for a smooth reconciliation process. I work closely with IT and other departments to ensure that the reconciliation software is compatible with our financial systems. Regular testing and updates help maintain this integration, allowing for seamless data flow and reducing the chances of discrepancies. What challenges have you faced with system integration, and how did you address them? One challenge I faced was when we upgraded our accounting software and the new system didn't align perfectly with our existing reconciliation processes. To address this, I collaborated with the IT team to identify the gaps and worked on customizing the software to better fit our needs. It required some trial and error, but ultimately we developed a solution that improved our reconciliation efficiency. Finally, let's discuss training. How do you train new team members on balance sheet reconciliation procedures? Training new team members is an important aspect of ensuring consistency in the reconciliation process. I usually start with a comprehensive onboarding program that covers the fundamentals of reconciliation. This includes hands-on training where they can shadow experienced team members and practice the process themselves. I also provide them with resources and documentation they can refer to as they learn. What resources or training do you use to keep your knowledge of reconciliation practices current? To keep my knowledge current, I utilize a variety of resources. This includes online courses, webinars, and industry publications. I also make it a point to participate in professional development opportunities, such as conferences and workshops. Engaging with other finance professionals helps me stay informed about the latest trends and best practices. And there you have it, a comprehensive guide to some of the most common interview questions for CA and finance roles, especially focused on balance sheet reconciliation. I hope you found this information helpful and that it gives you the confidence you need to ace your interviews. Remember to check out our other technical interview videos on the channel. They're packed with valuable insights that can help you prepare. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Happy studying and best of luck with your interviews.